Hi knitters, it's Mimi with Pastiche Knitwear, and today's video is on seaming, which I can already hear the groans when I say this, but hopefully I can help you out today. I actually love to seam and hope to change your mind about it a little bit. So this video is on a stitch to stitch seam, which is like you would be doing if you were joining the front and back at the shoulders. Okay, so as you see, I have my two pieces that need to be joined here running horizontally parallel with each other, but horizontal. I don't want to have them set up vertically like so. I want to have them set up horizontally in front of me. Now, because we're going to be doing this seaming and I want you to see it, I'm going to kind of come in closer here. And here we go. Now, let's talk about what we're looking for, because that is like 3/4 of the battle. So we can either look at a stitch as a V or as a teepee, like so. And on the top, I'm going to be looking for V's. And on the bottom, I'm going to be looking for teepees. And I'll get there, when we get there, I'll show you a little more closely. So to begin here, I usually start on the top. The only time we bring our needle from behind is the very first time we bring it through the fabric. All of the other stitches are going to be worked from the outside of the fabric, which is one great thing about this, is you can really see what you're doing. So I'm going to bring my needle in right to the right of the bottom of that first V right here. Let me bring that a little closer. There's my V. I'm bringing my needle up. I'm just going to pull through here, leave a tail, not going to affix it to anything yet. Now I want to find the mirror image of this stitch on this bottom piece, meaning I'm going to be looking then for a teepee on the bottom, not a V. So I'm always going to be running my yarn under the narrowest part of the stitch. So here's the teepee here. So I'm just going to bring my needle in underneath that teepee. I am not piercing the strands. In fact, it's very important that you don't pierce the strands. I'm just going to pull this through. I'm not going to make the stitches tight yet. Now, the great thing about this is that once you have the first stitch on the top and the first stitch on the bottom done, more than half your work is done, because you're always going to be going right back in where you've come out. So you can see my yarn up here is coming out. I'm going to bring my yarn back in the same spot, and I'm going to run under that narrow part of the V with my needle, and then just pull. And now I'm going to come down to the bottom here, and I'm coming under teepees. Remember, there's my teepee. So I'm going to bring my needle right back in where it came out, just run laterally underneath the narrowest part of the V, just under that stitch, and then I'm going to leave it like so. Now I'm going to continue this. I'm going to come on up to the top, look for my V. There it is. I'm going to run my needle underneath, behind, making sure I don't pierce any of the threads. Then I'm going to come down here and look for my teepee. Here's my teepee right here. And I'm just going to keep working this way, always going in the same spot where I came out, but running laterally from right to left. Now, if you're a lefty, this would work just mirror image. You would start at the left side and come to the right. So usually, I'm just going to keep on here for a few more stitches. And I don't usually pull these tight until I've done quite a few. When I'm teaching this, I let students get all the way across the piece and then have them pull, because I wait for that aha moment when everybody goes, oh, this is fantastic. So here's my teepee. And let's stop now. So one of the reasons I like to do this in a differently colored yarn is so that you see how this happens. Now, I'm going to pull. Ta-da! There it is. This beautiful, perfect seam that's just right. It looks so lovely. Okay, now I'm going to flip it over so you can see that we have then a selvage on the inside, and that is a perfect place to bury your ends. So you can just whip stitch your ends in down the edge here. So it works beautifully. So I hope that this has been helpful to you, and I hope that you will give seaming a try.